from ETLFM, University of Cape Coast. So my question is to Jordan. I know you are all doing very well in your respective clubs. Kudus is doing well, you are doing well, you won Player of the Month and so on. Even Atizigi was best keeper in Switzerland and so on. What is really the problem when you guys come to play for Black Stars? Because when you come to play for the Black Stars, we don't see that performance you are exhibiting in your various clubs. So what is really the problem with you guys?
Well, to answer your question, first of all, I just feel like it's a matter, we just need a bit of more time because it's a new group, a lot of new players, and most of the players are really inexperienced. So it's not easy, but we're working on it because we know we don't have time, and this type of games is a reality check. And we know our level, and we know we have to keep working hard to get this cohesion together and to learn how to play together and all those things. So it will come with time, but we all know that in football there's not really time. So we're pushing hard and we're trying our best to have better performances as a team, and with time it will come.
Coach, you've been with the team for close to a year now, so you have a fair idea of the squad. But from the World Cup to date, we are retrogressing, and you keep giving us excuses. Do you truly appreciate the magnitude of the job you're handling? This is a football-loving nation, Ghana. You've not won a game away from home. And we are miserable. Do you think you can handle this job? Do you think you are the magnitude of being the head coach of the Black Stars? You think you can handle this job with all of the excuses? You give us fine excuses every day.
Okay, so I'll go back over this. We spoke about a period of time. And do I appreciate? Yes, I do appreciate. I spend a lot of time in Ghana. Okay, I go to a lot of games, not only in Accra, but throughout the country. So I fully appreciate what football means in Ghana. I know that. And in particular, when there are very, very difficult times. So this, first and foremost, yes, I appreciate it. You're asking the question about myself. Yes, I do think coaches go through and teams go through difficult periods. Okay, and we are going through a difficult period as regards putting the performances that can see us scoring goals to win games. That has been difficult. There are some aspects of our game that has been okay. And the fact again that we've qualified for AFCON, then we've obviously done enough. We've done enough to win the group, not just to qualify, but to win the group and qualify for AFCON. That's the balance. And the balance is that from there, we need to develop more. If we're going to go into a tough AFCON tournament in January, we need to develop more. And all I can say and promise is that I will continue to work as hard as I can to pick the right squads, to pick the right tactics, to win the games that we need to win, to do well.
Harry, Coach, the game kick starts 12:30 a.m. in Ghana, and the results and performance were not particularly good. What would you say to the millions of Ghanaians who stayed up late in the night to win this game back home?
I think what's obvious is that I am very, very conscious. I am very conscious of what the game means in Ghana. I am very conscious. And for any performance that we put in, like we did today, or the scoreline that we did today, we are very sorry. Very, very sorry for the nation that have stayed up late into the night that would have been expecting better. I take responsibility. I work with a group of players, and I determine the tactics. I pick the team. Okay. So certainly as an apology, which I think is what you're referring to, yes, I apologise for the result and the performance in a first half period. And it again is my responsibility to make sure that we have 2 games in November, is that we start to see a performance that is going to win us both games.
Victor from Jordies. You were with the team from March 2022 when you first joined as technical advisor with Ottawago when we qualified for the World Cup. You stayed with them throughout some of the qualifying matches as well, up to the end of the World Cup, before you fully took over the job in March of this year. So you've been with the team for a while now. In the 7 games that you've played, you've only won 2 games. If you're adding Liberia, so 3. In 7 matches, we've scored 7 goals. We've conceded 9. We've had 7 shots on target in 7 games. In this game alone against the USA, the US had 8 shots on target in just 1 game. So clearly we're not creating enough. The call-ups have been questionable, most notably Edmond Ado he's played 14 minutes. The last time he played was in July of this year for his club level. He's constantly in the national team. There are other players that have been called up, have not been given minutes. You indicated the fact that you're trying new players. We've seen a player like Conor Stoffer, who has been called up many times. He's not been given enough minutes, except in the game against Liberia. We haven't played well. The football hasn't been pleasing in the eye. I think you admitted to that much. We're conceding. We've conceded 9. We're not scoring. So when you look at everything that has happened, do you genuinely think that since you took over the team, we've made some steps forward, and there's enough justification for us to believe that you're the man for the job going forward?
Okay, so you've mentioned a lot of things there. It's a very long question. I think I understand all the criticisms. I understand because I've been doing this a long time and I know what the game means to Ghanaians. I know. There is also a positive. You know, we have qualified for African Cup of Nations. And if anybody thinks that it's given to you, it's not. You know, we have had to go through a qualification group, and we would have been favourites in the group for sure. So no, but there are some positives. It's my responsibility to build this team. I have to work around some of the issues that we always have as regards injuries, players missing from squad, trying to get consistency in the team, and we will continue to strive to get the right formulas. I've also been involved in the game long enough to know sometimes you can go through what we regard as bad periods to come out better for it. And sometimes the bad performances like today can be something that can kickstart something else, or it can be something that makes my mind up about a certain system, a way of playing, players, or whatever. So we the only thing we can do is we can use this. I understand the disappointment. Mexico was okay, but certainly not in the second half. What I wanted was a reaction today. I fielded a team that I felt would give us enough control in the middle of the park and enough threat up front. But we conceded 3 goals in, I think, a 19-20 minute period. And at that stage, the game changes completely. So for a question of getting back into the game and getting goals. It becomes making sure that we don't concede more. All 4 goals we conceded, which if I'm looking at the difficulties that we've had, generally the difficulties we've had, it's been more about scoring goals than it has been about defending. But when you concede 4 goals in a period of time, and I would have to be honest with you, the goalkeeper that had to make a couple of good saves. It could have been more at half time. So this is hugely disappointing, and not something that I expected. What I wanted was a reaction from the last game. If you're asking me if I feel I'm the right person, yes I do. The result today is something that's hugely disappointing. We have 2 games in November, 2 big games in November, 2 big World Cup games in November. And it's our responsibility and my responsibility as coach to turn these bad defeats and bad performances into better ones and ones where we can win both games.